it's Angie Rupert, founder of Rupert Law Group. We handle exclusively E2 and E1 visas. So no matter what treaty country you're from or in what state you want to be, we can help. Before we get started, please take a moment to like and subscribe and leave a comment or a question. If you have one, we'll be happy to get back to you. And of course, if you have any friends or family members who are interested in the E2 or E1 visa, please share. We'd really appreciate it. And we hope that you and your friends and family find this video very useful. So today, we're going to talk about using equipment and inventory as part of your investment. Can it be done? Of course it can, as long as it's done the right way. So a lot of times these types of things come up when we're talking about trucking businesses, comes up a lot there. Any type of business with inventory and that type of thing, or really expensive equipment. So yes, you can use existing equipment and inventory as part of the investment, but here's the key. And this actually came up today, which is why I'm making this video. That inventory and equipment needs to be traced, the source of funds. How did you buy it? Who bought it? Who owns it? Right? That has to be done. Plus, all equipment and inventory has to be in the United States at the time of application, all the way through the time of your interview. So, a lot of times this could be problematic for people who run a similar business in another country. They know that they're going to be without their equipment or their trucks, right? This is a question that comes up a lot with trucking companies, especially Canadian trucking companies. Hey, I've got these 2 trucks. I want to start a company in the US. I want to use the trucks as part of the investment. Great. Where are the trucks? They're in Canada. Fantastic. Move them to the US. We'll get through the rest of the process. We'll apply for the visa. You'll wait for your interview. You'll go to the interview. The trucks must be physically located in the United States during that entire time, right? So sometimes you will be out without your equipment and inventory for 8 to 12 weeks. So please keep that in mind if you want to use it as part of the investment. If you're not looking to use it as part of the investment, then keep it with you. Do whatever you need to do in your home country. And then once you get the E2 visa, you can move all of those things over and use it here in the US business as well. But if it's going to be used as part of the E2 investment, we need to know the value of that equipment or inventory, and it must be physically located in the United States. And yes, we need the logistics documents. Bills of lading, shipping documents, whatever, however it got here, we need to show that. And sometimes we will take pictures of things that are physically located in the United States to show it's physically in the US. That is part of the application, okay? So that's number 1. If you want to use equipment or inventory as part of the investment, it must be physically located in the United States at the time of application, and it will stay here all the way through the time of your interview. Okay, so know that. Number 2, as I mentioned earlier, we also have to source it. Who bought this equipment? Where was it purchased? Who owns it? Is it the company that you currently own in another country with several other people? Is that the owner of the equipment or inventory? Or is it you personally? Who owns the US entity? Is it a series of business partners? Is it just you? Those things matter. Also, when was it purchased? As long as it's going to be used to direct and develop and grow the U.S. business, we can probably use that as part of the investment as far as timing goes. But we have to be able to show the receipts and the bank statements from way back when, right? So if it was 2 or 3 months ago, probably not an issue. If you bought something 10 to 15 years ago, that's where it may come up. Now, I actually have used equipment that was purchased something like 12 years prior to the E2 visa. So that can be done, but we had to trace it all the way back. Something else to consider when you're using inventory or equipment as part of the investment is what is the value of that equipment or inventory? Again, if you purchased it in the last few months, it's probably what you purchased it for. But what about something that you purchased 4 years ago, right? What about a semi-truck you purchased 4 years ago? Maybe you bought it for $150,000 and now it's worth 90, right? We have to have some sort of valuation. So we get that sometimes from manufacturers, depending on the type of equipment or inventory, or we can get that from something online, right? So in the case of like a vehicle, like a Kelley Blue Book, what is the approximate value of a car that you purchased several years ago? That type of thing, right? So we have to have some sort of valuation. So we need a source of funds, a valuation, what is this product worth? And then we also need to show that it's physically located in the United States. If you can do those three things, the odds are pretty good that you can use the value of that equipment or inventory as part of the investment. Now, remember, we're not looking for assets in the United States. We're looking for a business in the United States. So odds are that you will also need to invest some additional capital and a few other things to build the business and not just have two assets in the United States. That's not what they're looking for, right? So we can talk more about that, of course, when you call, which I'm excited and I hope that you do. So with that, if you'd like to talk about any a business that you'd like to use existing equipment or inventory for, or any E2 visa business for that matter, please give us a call. We'd love to speak with you about your E2 visa.